Chapter 117 to 122. Mikoto already knows that's no point in continuing the examination as she's already passed the B rank exam and you can't take an A rank exam unless you go all the way to Free Guild HQ. I already explained everything to her beforehand. Well, more like Ilya did, because I can't remember small details like this, but that's not the point. Since she's finished, she flashes a composed smile while flicking her hair back with her hand. She turns around and walks towards Ilya, Ranga, and me as the barrier glows before falling, the magic circle on the ground revealing itself again. The onlookers are cheering for her, already becoming fans of her due to her strength and looks. It doesn't help that her clothes are very cute, courtesy of Shina. Of course, some unsavory people are looking at my dear Mikoto with those eyes. I simply look at them before ignoring them. The runes that randomly appeared on the back of their necks that will paralyze their manhood and maybe make their body stop moving during a life or death situation has nothing to do with me. No sir. Ilya, stop looking at me like that. I know what you're thinking, and no, I'm not overprotective. Mikoto, how'd I do? Rimuru, yeah, pretty good. You probably could have worked on the presentation a bit more, smile at the crowds a bit, maybe wave a couple of times. I have a sarcastic tone of voice. Mikoto, Rimuru, are you angry? Rimuru, no. I say with a straight face while looking directly at Mikoto. I mean, I'm not lying. I'm really not angry. Ilya, he's just jealous. Rimuru, but I can't help it. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy you're getting recognition, Mikoto, I really am. But those eyes the other guys are sending you make me want to use my Nutcracker title. All of the males suddenly feel a cold wind pass through their legs. Mikoto, after listening to my minor rant, forms a teasing smile. Mikoto, you're jealous, because of that, huh? Then should I go back out and show some more fan service? Mikoto says while popping her hips to the left and resting her left hand on it, emphasizing her hips and legs a bit. I look at her with a dead serious expression. Rimuru, you better don't, only I can ogle your legs. Mikoto's mischievous smile breaks and a tinge of red creeps across her cheeks. My dear Mikoto, you are too young to try and tease me like that. Well, I'm not joking when I said that though. Ilya, if not her legs, then what about her chest? Rimuru, eh? There's nothing to ogle though? Spark. Rimuru, eep. I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of retarded. Or rather, you baited me into that, Ilya. Traitor. Rimuru, well, guess I'm next. I run into the Magi circle as it glows before disappearing and a barrier rises, covering the area in a dome again. The old examiner finally snaps out of his stupor and realizes that the tea-color haired girl from before is now replaced with a long white-haired Ike-man. Humph. You're next, huh? Rimuru, yes. But before we start, can I just skip straight to the B rank test? I can easily floor the exams, so I ask to skip them with a bored look while picking my ear. I don't actually need to pick my ear since there's nothing in there, but it's for the aesthetics. Rimuru. That's it. I've had enough. You. I challenge you to my B rank trial. Rimuru, yes, that's exactly what I want. Or rather, it's a trial now. Not an exam? Fuck you. With a scream that sounds like it came from a 12-year-old, he began his summoning thing. Chanting, magic circle on the ground, I've seen this a few times. But there's something different. The magic circle he's using now is different from the magic circle he used during Mikoto's exams. That magic circle he used then was a monster summon spell. This circle is a bit more sinister in nature. It reminds me of Shizu's rituals. Rimuru demon summon, huh? I mutter to myself. Of course, I know exactly what that magic circle does. It's a demon summoning spell. Summoning demons isn't exactly a forbidden thing. That's because demons really value contracts. So unless the summoner themselves are weak, you generally don't have to worry about a demon breaking a contract. Of course, if the summoner wants the demon to cause trouble, that's a different matter. There's a bit more information when it comes to demon summoning, but that's not important right now. The magic circle flares and a demon rises from it. Who knew? It looks like a floating giant black meatball with several eyes and mouths all over it and 4 long arms, 2 on each side. Humph. You're a swordsman, right? This guy here is a lesser demon. It can negate simple physical strikes, so you'd better choose wisely if you want to continue this farce. If you admit defeat, I'll dispel this guy. Farce? Does he think I'm weak or something and I'm just bluffing? Or rather, this guy seems a little shaky. I glance at Ilya with a confused look and use thought communication. Rimuru, what's up with this guy? He looks like he's gonna take a shit. His face is strained and everything. Ilya Oniai-chan, Mr. Old Grape has been summoning monsters one after the other. He's at his limit by summoning this demon. In fact, he might lose control if he doesn't dispel it soon. That explains the strained expression. 3. Rimuru, nah, let's start the exam. Oh sorry, trial. I say with a mischievous smile. This guy has been picking at Makoto and me ever since we got here. I can have a little payback, right? Yoo. Jesus Christ, calm your tatas. You'll release that shit you're holding if you're like this. Scree. The demon lunges at me with a demonic screech and swipes at me with its long. At the end of each of its arms are claws that look like they could cut normal armor like paper. Without drawing Yamato, I hold its sheathed blade up at the oncoming demon and hit it. Flum. Yamato simply passes through it, not damaging the demon at all. Rimuru, so it really does negate physical attacks. It's kind of like a ghost from games if that's the case. Physical attacks can't do shit to it, but magic attacks deal double damage or something. Well, since it's a demon, it probably only takes regular damage to magic attacks. Devs. This is unbalanced. I call hacks. Well, I was just curious about it anyway. I should end this. I back away from the demon that's turning around to face me again. I better not get copyright claimed for this. I hold Yamato to my waist and grab its handle. I lean forward, close my eyes. And I breathe. Rimuru meet Bun breathing, first form, generic anime katana attack. With a flash of light and the sound of thunder, I disappear from my spot, reappearing directly behind the demon in the exact same position. Raya. The demon screams from its many mouths as its top half and bottom half separate before slowly dissipating into magicules. Before anyone tries to drop a copyright claim onto me, let me just say that wasn't actually Demon Slayer breathing. I just used my pure physical strength and used runes to make an illusion of light. Plus, I can't actually breathe anyway, so learning it is a bit useless. Although I can use Ahura Mazda to create a breathing manual. Meh. I might give one to Hakuru as a gift one day. Maybe. All the females watching, Kaya. So handsome. Damn straight I am. The females then immediately shut up as Tsundere Pikachu stares at all of them with electricity sparking from her head. As for Ilya, she's just wiping her bloody nose. And Ranga is just fanboying over me like normal. Third person POV. After Makoto casually looked at cough-threatened *** some girls that were giving Rimuru some heart-shaped eyes, she turns back to look at him with a calm smile on her face. It's a smile that shows the faith she has in him, completely expecting him to floor the exam. I mean, Makoto knows that in a one-on-one fight, Rimuru could defeat her and Makoto herself knew she could defeat the lesser demon, so, yeah, there wasn't any doubt. However, her eyes that are looking at Rimuru contain a slight trace of dilemma. Makoto, I couldn't even see him move, is that how far apart we are, Rimuru? Makoto thinks to herself before shaking her head and discarding the thought. That's right, this is a foreshadowing for a power boost event. But it won't happen for a while. Back to Rimuru's POV. MC POV. Rimuru *burp*ite, I'm done. Time to go. I say while scratching my back like an old man. I turn around and begin to walk out of the barrier, but... Rimuru, The barrier isn't lowering? Muttering enters my ears. I turn around to see it's the old grape being the source of it as his eyes are covered with a shadow. How does this guy have a shadow covering his eyes? He's got no hair. In front of him is another magic circle. This one is the exact same demon summoning spell that he used before. Except this time there are a lot more magicules infused into it. Most likely it's the rest of his reserves. Rimuru, oi, if you keep it that, you won't have any magicules to control your summon, you know? I casually say with a bored expression on my face. /N, I'm pretty sure this isn't how summoning works, but for the sake of the story, let's just say that to make a summon listen to you, you need to use magicules to issue orders. The stronger the summon, the more magicules needed per order. I'll probably forget this later anyway, lol. Old Grape doesn't listen and continues the summoning. The demon he's summoning is going to be stronger than the lesser demon he summoned previously. More muttering the chant, flash of ominous light, the whole shebang. Pokemon battle theme music starts playing. A wild greater demon appeared. What will Rimuru do? Rimuru used, bored stare. It did nothing. Greater demon used, roar. Rimuru doesn't give a shit. Rimuru used, gun. Asterisk bang, asterisk. It was super effective. The wild greater demon fucking died. Rimuru wins. Pokemon victory theme music plays. Man, what a rush. I think to myself as I toss the magic pistol I made randomly into my stomach to be forever forgotten. The grumpy grape falls flat on his face, unconscious either from the shock of his summon being instantly defeated before it could even do anything or from magical depletion. Probably both. The barrier falls and I casually walk over to where Ilya, Ranga, and Mikoto are waiting. Fuse, what the hell is going on? Rimuru, Fuse, you're here. Fuse arrives, just on time. I was going to look for the man, but he comes straight to me. Wonderful. Behind him, I see the guild member who said I am going to get the guild master, after Mr. Examiner Grape over here summoned 3 giant bats for Mikoto's exam. I'm guessing those bats are too much to take on alone for a new BB ranker? Huh. Fuse looks around to see his unconscious examiner and the dissipating body of a greater demon. Fuse. Did you do all of this? Rimuru. Fuse. Well. Did you? Rimuru. Ehei. Fuse ehei, ti nandeo. Oh god, oh fuck, my eyes. I need bleach. An old man saying that is not cute at all. Dear lord. Fuse asterisk sigh asterisk. Well, come to my office. We can talk there. Rimuru, alright. But I need to do something first. Fuse okay, but don't take too long. Fuse exasperatedly pinches the bridge of his nose and he turns around and walks back inside the guild building. I then turn around and walk back into the barrier magic circle. This time, it doesn't activate. I walk up to the fallen grape examiner, rear my right foot back and swing it forward. With lots of force. Pop. All the males watching have a chill run down their spines as they swear to never mess with me. I mean, they probably swore not to do so when they saw me take down a greater demon using a strange weapon, but this time, they swore to the heavens like a fucking cultivator. Later. I'm sitting in Fuse's guildmaster room with drum roll, please Fuse. Cos, you know, he's the guildmaster. Moving on, Ilya and Mikoto decided to wander around Blumen's royal capital with Cable, Jido, and Elin as guides. Ranga decided to go with them as a guard of sorts. I asked him to. I wanted him to scare off any unsavory men from approaching the girls. Not for the girls, oh no. It's for their own safety. Fuse is sitting behind his desk that he does all his paperwork on and I'm sitting on a comfy chair in front of him. Both of us are calmly sipping a cup of tea while waiting. Creak. The door opens and in walks a receptionist holding a tray. Placed neatly on the tray are 2 guild ID cards, one for me and one for Mikoto. You know, since Mikoto isn't here. I take the cards and tuck them into my chest pocket like a suave man while flashing the receptionist a smile. Rimuru, thank you. The receptionist blushes while hiding her face behind the now empty tray and rushes out of the room. Huh. Too easy. In any case, I'll just get straight to business. I turn to Fuse and open my mouth. Rimuru, I want a recommendation letter to the Free Guild headquarters in Ingrassia. I want to see Yuki Kagurazaka personally. Fuse doesn't say anything and stares at me, trying to find out my intentions. I don't do anything and meet his eyes with my own, a calm smile painted on my face. Fuse, sigh, alright, I can do that. But. Rimuru, I'll give you these meat buns. I say as I manifest a large tray of buns. Fuse, deal. He quickly writes the letter of recommendation for me and hands it over. I place it in my gluttony stomach while sliding the tray over to a drooling Fuse. It would be cute to see if it was a girl, but it's a little disgusting when he does it. Rimuru, well, I got my adventurer's ID and the letter, I guess it's time for me to go. Fuse, if you say so. But do know that you are always welcome here in Blumend. Fuse flashes a genuine smile while standing up and holding out his hand. I stand up and grab his hand, giving it a good shake. Rimuru, then I'll see you around. I say as I turn around and leave Fuse's room. Now, on to my next destination. I guess I should meet a certain Hikikomori demon lord. A while later, sitting on Ranga's back as he continues running west is Ilya, Mikoto, and yours truly, Dio. Just kidding, you thought it was Dio, but it was me, Rimuru. We're sitting in our usual positions, with Ilya sitting at the front with Mikoto in the middle and I am hugging her from behind. Rimuru, so we're gonna take a detour to meet with Demon Lord Ramiris. Ilya E? Ilya has a say CK right now face since, like me, she hates traveling. Take a detour means more traveling, so. Mikoto, why do you need to see Ramiris? Mikoto, however, is genuinely curious about this. So far, she hasn't had much contact with demon lords outside of Malim, so she's interested in a Ramiris. Rimuru, well, in simple terms, I want to strike a deal with her. Mikoto knows that there are friendly demon lords and hostile demon lords, so she won't make the mistake of thinking that all demon lords are like Malim, but she knows I wouldn't be striking a deal with Ramiris unless she's amiable in some way. Otherwise, I would kick their nuts and force them to do what I want. Ranga, master, if you don't mind me asking. What deal will you be striking with this demon lord? Ranga voices his query without slowing down. Mikoto also shows her curiosity. It's at this moment I realized that neither Mikoto nor Ranga know what my plans are. Rimuru, it's kind of a long story. You're gonna need some background information too. I cross my arms and close my eyes, thinking about my next words. I open my mouth, and I begin my TED talk. Rimuru, right, so you know about hero summoning, right? How the summoned heroes are always OP and stuff. Mikoto and Ranga nod their heads. Rimuru, good. You might not know this, but for a proper hero summoning ritual, it takes a lot of preparation. There exist very few forces capable of summoning them because it requires very strict circumstances to be prepared to allow one to summon a person with powerful abilities, especially those whose will is exceptionally strong. Furthermore, the success rate of the ritual with 30 magicians chanting summoning magic over a period of 3 days is extremely low. And even if they succeed or fail, the magicians who have just cast summoning magic will be unable to cast it again for a set interval. The cooldown period ranges from 33 to 88 years. The time during this period is used to prepare a suitable environment to increase the success rate of the summoning. A/N, copy-pasted from the wiki LMAO. Mikoto. What's the success rate? Ilya. Less than 1%. Mikoto's eyes flutter in shock and confusion. Mikoto, that success rate is absolute sure dash. Rimuru, language. Only I can swear. And yes, I agree. But that's just how powerful heroes are. Just a single hero is enough to change the tide of a large-scale war. To those large powers, it's completely worth it. I say with a shrug. My face turns solemn and both Mikoto and Ranga realize that things are about to get heavy. Even I don't really like thinking about it since it makes me angry. Rimuru, however, if the summoning were to be conducted under incomplete conditions, it can be done continuously. The downside of improper summons such as these usually results in children being forcefully summoned with abundant magicules infused into them. Unlike otherworlders, humans that appear in this world through pure coincidence who are guaranteed to have a unique skill, the children's rate of gaining a unique skill is relatively low. Without an outlet for that rampaging mass of magicules infused into them, it will eat away at their immature bodies, causing them to, well, die. Mikoto's eyes become filled with shock and sadness. Her eyes drop, processing the information I just gave her. Even Ranga is thinking about it, unconsciously slowing down. I don't say anything. Mikoto. Shizu's students are summoned, aren't they? Rimuru, yeah. Mikoto. How long do they have to live? Mikoto asks. It's Ilya that responds to her. Ilya, approximately 3 years since their summoning. However, we don't actually know how long ago they were summoned, so it could be less. Mikoto. Is there any way to save them? Ilya, there is. Fusing their bodies with high-ranking spirits will calm the rampaging magicules within them, allowing them to form a unique skill, therefore saving their lives. Rimuru, this meeting with Ramiris will be a big step towards that. A few more seconds of silence pass. Mikoto takes a deep breath and breathes out, looking back over her shoulders and meeting my eyes. Rimuru, you good? Mikoto, yeah. It's just a bit depressing. You can save them, and that's all that matters. I smile. She really came a long way. If it were before, she would probably get angry and storm any secret summoning ritual site that she can find, trying to shut the whole thing down. Now she realizes that it's a futile action as she'll probably be hunted down or even implicate Avalon. Don't get me wrong, she really wants to do something to help, but this isn't Academy City anymore. Information is limited in this world, she doesn't even know where to start, let alone what to do from there. Though if she did want to recklessly do something, I would stop her with everything I have. My arms unconsciously tighten around Makoto's waist as I close my eyes and feel the wind rush past my face as Ranga speeds up again. This time he's heading south, towards the dwelling of the spirits as guided by Ilya. Makoto. You really are kind, aren't you? Makoto mutters to herself, but I easily hear it. A wry smile spreads across my face. Rimuru, kind, huh? I doubt it. I know there are many kids out there in the same position as Shizue's students, but I won't go out of my way to help them. Makoto, but you're still willing to go out of your way to save Shizu's students. That makes you better than those people who are willing to sacrifice many innocent lives just to summon a hero for their own safety. She says while pushing her back against my chest and closing her eyes. Rimuru. This woman. She shouldn't say stuff like that. I almost professed my love right then and there. Ilya moo. Ilya pouts while staring at the both of us. Rimuru, sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. I start giving her head pats, causing her to close her eyes and accept my offering. Now, I have to go through a long trip that will make me bored as fuck. I think a time skip is in order. So yeah, we decided to just teleport. No time skips. I mean, it took a few days to get from Avalon to Blumen's royal capital and it'll take about a week to get from there to Ingracia's royal capital, which is long enough. But from Blumen's royal capital all the way to the entrance of the dwelling of the spirits will take 3 weeks to a month. Approximately 3.5 weeks. What the fuck? And that's with Ranga's speed. So yeah, I'm sorry Ranga, but for both Ilya and I's mental stability, we're teleporting. Sad Ranga noises. Ilya, being the person that she is, already knows where the spirit dwelling entrance is. Or at least, she knows the general whereabouts. I read about it somewhere in my past life and Ilya dug it up from my memories. Of course, the specific location is something we have to look out for ourselves. Rimuru, so? Where to? I ask my little sister as I prepare to open a portal with spatial ruler. Ilya, the Republic of Uargracia. The northern part. Roger that. But I have no idea where that is. Well, in the end, Ilya gave me the spatial coordinates through her head pats. Yes, I'm still head patting her. Where she got that information from is something that will forever elude me. She always pulls information like that from somewhere. It probably comes with her status as a Manas evolved from Raphael, Lord of Wisdom. A portal opens in front of Ranga, to which he walks through. We appear in the middle of a large forest. Ilya looks around and points in a certain direction, to which Ranga starts running in that direction. Sensing Makoto and I's confusion, she thankfully explains. Ilya, spirits are made out of natural energy, which is a bit different from magicules. I used universal perception to find out which direction has more natural energy and told Ranga to go in that direction. If we keep doing this, we should find ourselves near the dwelling of the spirits soon. Now, praise me Oniai-chan. Ilya informs us while pushing her, lacking, chest out in pride. Rimuru Umu. You're so smart. I wouldn't have been able to think of something like that. I pat Ilya's head with more intensity. Ilya ihi. Mikoto, well, I would've, if I had the information. Ranga, as would I. Random villager asterisk in the distance asterisk me too. Rimuru, hey. I shout at the random villager that somehow heard this conversation several hundred meters away as we're moving at a few hundred kilometers an hour. Rimuru, shut the fuck up. Random villager asterisk in the distance asterisk make me. Rimuru asterisk muttering asterisk, oh, you asked for this. I prepare to destroy the random villager that is now over a kilometer away due to Ranga's speed. Rimuru, I hope you get Ligma and end up in Sugma like Joe did. Random villager asterisk in the distance asterisk, what's Ligma? Where's Sugma? Who's Joe? Rimuru asterisk inhales asterisk. The following is not recommended for those with fragile hearts. Rimuru Ligma ball Sugma dick Joe mama. The random villages proceeds to get a heart attack and fucking dies. An hour later. Mikoto, we got pretty lucky, huh? Rimuru, thankfully. It turns out that our portal destination was decently close to the labyrinth guarding the dwelling of the spirits. Directly in front of us is a giant door 20 meters or so high. The door looks like it's made out of bronze, but it's probably not actually made out of that stuff. Maybe an alloy with magisteel or something, I'm not sure. The location of this door itself is inside a rather spacious cavern of sorts. This cavern is embedded in a big mountain. You get here after walking up a rather calming, enchanting path into a cave. That small cave is connected to this large cavern. Sunlight somehow reaches the cavern from the ceiling, giving the area a calming glow. Green vegetation like vines grows along the walls and rocky terrain. Smaller insects like butterflies calmly mind their own business. This is a rather beautiful place, probably from the concentration of natural energy located here. This natural energy is different from magicules in the fact that it isn't poisonous. Magicules can kill someone if the concentration exceeds their tolerance levels. It's the reason why only high-ranking monsters can be born and found in areas with high magicule concentration like Veldora's sealed cave while Veldora was, well, sealed. This natural energy is different as it seems to promote vegetation growth, if only slightly. But I digress. Mikoto. So. Why are we just standing here looking at this giant door? Rimuru. I don't know. Tradition? Mikoto, why are you asking me? Oh well, let's go. Mikoto exasperatedly replies, before shrugging and pushing on the door. With a loud creaking sound that generically comes from doors that rarely open, the large doors swing open inwards. Inside, you can see a large corridor shrouded in darkness, tens of meters high and several meters wide. It's enough that we can all walk side by side, Ranga in his true 5-meter tall form included. Well, he decides to keep his smaller form anyways, shrinking until he's barely taller than my hip. He's content with the small run he had while looking for the entrance. The whole area seems to be made out of stone. The walls and ceilings are made out of stone bricks that you'd probably see in fantasy dungeons or labyrinths. There are also columns of stone running up along the wall and across the ceiling. On each of these columns, weird patterns are engraved, softly glowing with light. It's not much, but it's enough to show us the path. We enter, and after walking a few steps, the giant door slams shut behind us. Because of course, it does. Still, we ignore it and continue walking. Mikoto, hey, Rimuru, are these runes? Mikoto also seems curious about the glowing patterns as she asks me while pointing to one of them. I shake my head. Rimuru, no, these aren't runes. If they were, I would know. It's probably a spirit or fairy thing. Perhaps it's a unique feature of this labyrinth. Ilya, it's probably the latter. After all, this labyrinth is created through Ramara's intrinsic skill. Mikoto, this place was created through a skill? Unbelievable. Mikoto mutters in shock. I mean, it is quite amazing. Rimuru, well, there are some drawbacks too. Although while inside the labyrinth, she can be considered a formidable enemy to a degree, she can't do much outside. Her strength is quite weak after all, especially when compared to the other demon lords. Mikoto's eyes sparkle with even more curiosity at this demon lord as she continues to look around when suddenly, she gets a thought. Mikoto, hey, doesn't that mean she can hear us right now? Are you sure we should be talking about this out loud then? Mikoto furrows her brow in worry. Ranga, do not worry, Master definitely has already thought of a solution. Ranga interjects while wagging his tail and looking at me with an expectant expression. Hoo-hoo, this is one of my smart moments. I hold up my hand, revealing a glowing temporary rune written on it. Rimuru, this rune is preventing our conversation from getting out, don't worry. Mikoto visibly relaxes while I wipe some sweat off my brow. Thank God I thought of this before, or else I would look like a fucking dumbass. Rimuru, well, I think this is enough though. The rune I wrote on my palm fades away. I stop walking and speak out into the surroundings. Rimuru, is anyone listening? I wish to speak with Ramiris. Ranga, Ilya, and Mikoto also stop walking as well. Silence falls between us for several seconds before faint laughter could be heard. Or rather, this laughter echoes straight into our minds. Hoo-hoo, hoo-hoo-hoo. More and more laughter from many different sources enters our minds. Probably fairies. It's not Ramiris though, that much I can tell. It seems I need to draw her attention. I could just continue walking through the labyrinth and have Ilya map the place and guide us through, but I don't want to do that shit. Now, how do I draw out this NET demon lord? Rimuru. I have cookies. You do. Now that sounds a lot more like Ramiris from the anime. Rimuru, yes. But I would like to talk to you first. Ramiris, Iya? Why? Rimuru, I need your help as the former Spirit Queen. Ramiris used to be the Spirit Queen until she, and I quote, fell from grace. She was actually one of the two who halted Malim's rampage, the other being Guy Crimson. After Malim lost her pet dragon, Gaia, she went on a rampage, destroying a kingdom and becoming a demon lord. But she didn't stop her rampage there, she was lost in grief and madness, and so she continued rampaging and would have continued until the world was destroyed. Primordial demon Guy Crimson and Spirit Queen Ramiris worked together to safely calm Malim down, but during the process, Ramiris was afflicted with Malim's malice, which caused her to lose her status as Spirit Queen and become a fairy instead, while also becoming a demon lord. Well, she still has some of her powers as a Spirit Queen, such as being able to bestow blessings and control spirits to a degree, A/N, I think. I need her to lead me to the dwelling of the spirits since I don't know where exactly in this huge labyrinth it's located. Ha ha ha. Hee 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 hee. More laughing from random fairies enter our minds. It seems they're enjoying our presence. Ramiris, humu humu. Very well. But you must pass my trial. Raimi's words echo into my head. Rimuru, oh god, another trial. Let me guess, you're going to have me fight something? Ramiris, guh. I knew it. It's always fighting something. I mean, she had OG Rimuru fight a giant golem of sorts in the series, so I knew this beforehand. Ramiris, moo. Oh, now she's pouting. It's the same sound Ilya makes when she pouts. Ilya, moo. Oniai-chan, you were thinking something rude, weren't you? See? In any case, the surrounding scenery fades away into the darkness, the only source of light being the glowing path of light under our feet. Mikoto, I guess we just need to follow the path? Ramiris, indeed. Just keep walking and you'll reach your destination of the trial soon. Ramiris' voice echoes in our minds one last time before disappearing, probably to prepare our stage or something. Yeah, I can imagine her fumbling around, trying to get everything ready. I'm going to guess 5 minutes tops until she's ready. 30 minutes later. I was wrong. Right now, Ilya, Mikoto, and I are sitting on the light bridge leaning against Ranga, who enlarged his size and is laying down on his stomach. We stopped walking and just sat here after the 10-minute mark. Ramiris. Eh? You aren't walking? Oh, she's back. Rimuru, well, we thought that we should just wait for you. You know, to finish your preparations. Ramiris cough, *. Yeah, that's right. We knew. The surroundings shift again and we find ourselves in a giant room. The room is circular in nature, completely made out of stone bricks. The room is much brighter than the labyrinth corridor we walked through, although I can't find the light source for some reason. Probably anime bullshit again. Most of the stone bricks are cracked and weathered down. In general, this place looks like some kind of small-scale ancient arena. Of course, none of us is admiring the surroundings, but rather the golem standing menacingly in the center. Like, there's menacing characters literally written all over the poor thing. Did Ramiris think that would scare off any opponents or something? It's about 3 meters tall and made entirely out of magisteel. It's also bulky as hell and looks like it can only move at a snail's pace, but I know that it can probably move as fast as your mom, which is pretty fast since I'm sure your mom is a fit, healthy, wonderful person. And it's pink. Just thought I'd mention it. Rimuru, so we just have to beat this thing? Ramiris, ding dong. Correct. This is my elemental colossus. It's really strong and really tough. More laughing from other fairies enter my mind. I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to get on my nerves. Just a bit. This might be a good stress reliever. Ranga, master, would you like me to take care of this? Rimuru, It's not that I don't think you can win, but can you even concentrate? Ranga's eyes keep shifting to the floating glowing balls of light. Each light is actually a fairy, their forms obscured by their own light unless they're decently close. Like Tinkerbell. Rimuru, I've got this. Ranga, you understood, master. Ranga says as he struggles against jumping towards the nearest fairy. Ilya and Mikoto are already off chasing the floating lights, much to the fairies' glee as they run/fly/float away and play a game of tag. Meanwhile, I walk towards the giant golem with a small smile on my face. I'm not gonna use Yamato for this. Ramiris, Oya? What's this? You're going alone? Overconfidence is a bad thing, you know. Ramiris' teasing voice enters my head. Rimuru, well, just watch. The elemental colossus' eyes glow in a red gleam, because of course it does, as its body begins to move. Energy flows from its chest all over its body, allowing its limbs to move. From its squatting position, it stands up as it flexes its arms, presumably calibrating itself. Meanwhile, I lower my stance. I bend my knees and hold my hands out in front of me. Rimuru Kaaya. Mi'i. I bring my hands to my waist on my right as a ball of concentrated magicules gathers in my hands. Ramiris Ie? Rimuru Haiya. Me. Ramiris W. Wait, maybe we can talk about this, dash. Rimuru Haiya. Ramiris W. Ait. I thrust my hands out in front of me as the concentrated ball of energy flies out in a beat, straight towards the elemental colossus with bright rainbow colors. Rimuru, taste the rainbow motherfucker. Ramiris NOOO. The golem becomes enveloped in the rainbow light and slowly, it disintegrates, disappearing into nothingness. Rimuru, phew, that was refreshing. I say as I wipe my arm across my forehead. Rimuru, phew, that was refreshing. I say as I wipe my arm across my forehead with a relieved expression on my face. Rimuru, now then. I then look over at a certain point in the air. Rimuru asterisk in a Morgan Freeman voice asterisk, I can smell you. I can feel judging eyes on me. Rimuru asterisk cough asterisk, it's a joke. Come out. I say as I hold out my hand, forming a concentrated ball of magicules. Because I didn't say the magic word, Kamehameha, it's not rainbow colored, but it's pretty powerful. Ramiris, hi. Right. A yellow ball of light flashes into existence directly where I was looking and flies frantically around in a panicked fashion before stopping directly in front of my face. No, I didn't smell her. I don't even think she has a sense of smell since she's a spiritual being. But I did sense her through universal perception. Now that it's closer, I can clearly see the figure that was obscured by her own light. It's a fairy, that much is obvious. She has long blonde hair tied into pigtails that reach her waist with eyes of the same color. She wears a simple but elegant formal black dress that has golden markings etched into its fabric, making it seem expensive. Her ears are pointed like an elf's and she has 4 transparent fairy wings attached to her back. The figure salutes while standing straight in the air as tears threaten to spill from her eyes. Ramiris, as humiliating as it is, I have come in response to your call. She is Ramiris of the Labyrinth, a demon lord who is technically as old as Guy Crimson and Malene Nava. Seeing that everything is over, Ilya, Mikoto, and Ranga stop chasing the other fairies around and walk up to us. Ranga, a fairy? Mikoto, cute. Yeah, she really is cute. She's also really small, barely 25 centimeters in height, less than the length of a general ruler. Rimuru, so? Who are you? Although I already know this, I don't think it would give Ramiris any peace of mind if I came off as a guy that knew everything beforehand. I can simply act like a guy that only heard about her, now knowing what she actually looks like. Ramiris asterisk ahem, asterisk I am one of th dash asterisk bites tongue asterisk ugh. Mikoto, she bit her tongue. Ilya, well, she probably only communicates through telepathy like she was doing with us, so her mouth probably can't keep up. Yeah, that was the reason given in the anime. I can just imagine someone asking, hey girl, what dat mouth do, and Ramiris then just proceeds to bite her own tongue. I smirk to myself as that thought passes through my head. I don't remember her ever biting her tongue again after this, so it was probably just an accident. An unfortunate one. After the pain passes, Ramiris straightens up proudly once again as she puffs her chest out haughtily. Ramiris, I am one of the 10 great demon lords, Fairy Ramiris of the Labyrinth. Ranga just looks at her with a disbelieving expression while Mikoto just straight up expresses her doubts. Mikoto, huh? A demon lord? You? Mikoto tilts her head in confusion. Ramiris, completely ignoring their expressions, continues with her speech as she places her hands on her hips and closes her eyes. Ramiris, know your place. You should be grovelly dash asterisk spark asterisk awk. A spark of electricity flies from Mikoto's finger, hitting Ramiris' butt. Ramiris, what was that? Ramiris looks indignantly at Mikoto while rubbing her behind, flying directly in front of her face. Mikoto, electricity? Mikoto says with an innocent face. Ramiris, not that. Why did you interrupt me? Mikoto, well, I just don't see how you could become a demon lord. I mean, if you're going to lie, at least make it believable. There's no way someone like you could become one. Mikoto says, with a disinterested expression. This conversation sounds familiar to me. Ramiris, you are so rude. Ramiris says, while zooming all over the place in frustration. Must be convenient to fly around like that. Hang on, if I eat her, couldn't I do something like that? Feeling a chill run down her spine, Ramiris stops her tantrum and hovers until she's level with our faces. Ramiris *ahem, in any case, I am a demon lord. What else could I be if I'm not one? Rimuru. Ilya. Ranga. Mikoto. Ramiris. What? Why are you all looking at me with those pitying eyes? Mikoto *sigh* in any case, I have a friend named Malim Nava who is also a demon lord, there's no way you could measure up to her. Ramiris HNNG. Baka. Baka, 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 baka. Ramiris bites her lip while throwing her fists around before quickly running out of breath. I swear, this scene looks really familiar to me somehow. She takes deep breaths as she places her hands on her knees before she continues to explain. Ramiris, listen. Malim is one of the most absurd demon lord. Her strength is off the charts, even compared to the other demon lords. She thinks she can just solve everything with strength. It's rude to compare my dainty and lovely self to that embodiment of absurdity. You need to understand that or we'll have big problems. Big problems. Big problems. Mikoto right, I got it. I know I saw this scene somewhere. Where was it? Ramiris then snaps her head in my direction. Ah, sheet. Ramiris, and what's up with you? How could you use a reckless move like that? Reckless move? Ah, my Kamehameha. Ramiris, well, at least you seem to have the same tendencies for overdoing things. Maybe you really are friends. I lift my hand to defend myself. Only to realize that I don't have anything to defend myself with. Rimuru. Fair point. Ramiris, when did you two meet? Rimuru, I'm not sure, it was kind of a rush of events and I haven't really been keeping track of time, but it wasn't that long ago. /n, it's my excuse, because I have no grasp of the timeline in my fanfic LMAO. Ramiris Ramiris looks at all of our faces with scrutinizing eyes before something clicked in her head. Ramiris, not that long ago. Ah? Are you people from that city that popped up in the Great Jura Forest? What was it called again? Avalon? Mikoto, You know about us? Ramiris, of course. Malim showed up here for the first time in ages, and she just kept going on and on about the new best friends that she made. Mikoto's eyes widen in shock as she realizes something. Probably thinking that if Malim actually came here, Ramiris actually might be an honest-to-God demon lord. Mikoto snaps her head in Ilya's direction, the latter nodding her head, confirming the former's thoughts. Mikoto then looks at Ramiris with disbelieving eyes. Ramiris. Oi. What's with that doubtful look? I really am a demon lord. You'd better believe it. Meanwhile, something clicks in my own head. Rimuru. Oh. Now I remember. This whole conversation happened in the anime. Mikoto just took OG Rimuru's place. I knew this whole scenario was familiar. A wide smile spreads on my face as I realize what has been plaguing me these past few minutes as Ramiris and Mikoto look at me, wondering what I remembered and perhaps doubting my sanity. Name, Rimuru. Race, origin slime. Protection, crest of space. Title, highest tier spirit, leader of the monsters, Oniai-chan, king of Avalon, master of headpats, procrastinator king, the nutcracker. Manas, Iliasviel. Ultimate skills, Belzebuth, lord of gluttony, Ahura Mazda, lord of creation, Skathak, lord of runes. Unique skills, spatial ruler. Intrinsic skills, infinite regeneration, universal shapeshift, universal sense, enhanced replication, universal thread. Extra skills, Lord's ambition, thought communication, control natural elements, control magic, control gravity. Resistances, cancel pain, resist melee attack, cancel natural elements, cancel ailments, resist spiritual attack, resist holy/demonic attack. Equipment, Yamato, Raphael, skill orb, limiter ring. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kayashin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Ben Phillips, Yami Tancho, Harold's Martinsons. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be here until next time.